The Full Melt Show is intended for a mature audience. It contains adult themes, adult content, and sometimes adult language. Listener discretion is advised.
Right now, a warning about synthetic marijuana. An increase in overdoses is prompting Dauphin County's DA to put the public on alert. He says recently the problem is trending in the wrong direction and sending more people to the hospital. CBS 21's Bryant Madrick filed this report earlier tonight.
Don't get started on this stuff. It's just bad news.
Dauphin County District Attorney Ed Marsico is warning people to stay away from synthetic marijuana spreading through the Harrisburg area. Pictures of one of the brands circulating on the streets is posted on the DA's website. Marsico says in 2 days, 20 people were treated in emergency rooms with overdoses or reactions from the drug.
You don't know what you're getting. There's no quality control. This stuff is screwing up people's brains, screwing up their bodies. Some of the individuals were in intensive care this weekend.
Synthetic marijuana is illegal. It goes by names like K2, Spice, Darkness, and Space. The DA says people are getting the substance not in corner stores, but on the street, like other drugs. A recent CDC study shows calls for synthetic cannabinoid use spiked 229% in 2015 versus 2014. The problem Marsico is warning about, Harrisburg resident Pam McNett has seen up close and personal.
I was outside sweeping in front of my house one day earlier this week, and a gentleman came by clearly intoxicated and then passed out on the street in front of it.
Despite the encounter, the experience hasn't changed McNett's love for where she lives.
I don't feel any different about my neighborhood.
Are you high? What are you talking about?
Bryant Madrick, CBS 21 News.
Right now, a warning about
The Full Melt Show. A marijuana discussion about news, culture, politics, and lifestyle. FullMelt.com. Toll free. 844-420-TALK. 844-420-TALK.
Welcome to another Full Melt Show. It's Monday. Hey, look at that. It's Mad Blaster by night.
Yeah, by night because of Mondays.
Flew in. This business with the K2, the Spice, what do they call this? Darkness in the piece?
I guess they call it Space. I don't know, man.
Space.
Space.
They call it Spice in a lot of places. But this one was called Darkness. It says, the headline on the CBS News spot, this was from CBS News published today, out of Harrisburg. Dateline, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Boom.
Overdoses linked to synthetic marijuana called Darkness.
Whoa.
So I think that was kind of like the illegal fake marijuana's ripoff of the dankness.
That's actually a really good correlation there. I didn't even see that one right there before you put it right there in front of my face.
So if you go somebody on the street and you go, oh, dankness, they know exactly what you're talking about.
Shit.
But
that's what it's all about. It's trying
so if
to
you
be
come up
marijuana.
and you were looking for the fake weed in the fake weed store,
The darkness.
I'm looking for the darkness.
Not quite dank, but a little dark.
It's dark, but it's not dank. You don't want the dark dank.
You ever tried that stuff?
This stuff's poo. Dark dank is poo.
That stuff can't be good for you, man.
Dark dank? What about the light dank?
Like the light greens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it depends on, like, Chocolope is kind of dark.
Yeah, I don't like Chocolope.
You don't like the Chocolope?
Well, from a Mad Blaster standpoint, Chocolope's a terrible plant for concentrates.
Are you prejudiced?
Well, yeah. That's exactly what I just told you.
Damn it. He got me on that one.
It's okay. I'll take the label prejudice. I'm fine with that.
It pisses me off this story's in the news because it keeps popping back up. And
yeah, it's like the second time we've heard of it now.
Oh, this is just since you've been sticking around.
Since I've been sticking around. That's my time frame.
This has been popping up month after month, year after year for the past 5 or 6 years, really strongly. It's been around since, I don't know, early 2000s, I think. The K2, the Spice, the fake weed. And I don't know if anybody knows. Do you know how Do you know how they got the? Did I tell you the story about how K2 came to be?
You told me, but it's definitely escaping my memory right now. I've been baking in the sun all day.
You were baking somewhere else too, weren't you?
No. Only every 2 hours.
It was only the sun baking? Because I just don't believe that.
I'm only allowed to do paperwork every 2 hours.
Your name is Mad Blaster by night, and you're going to stand here and tell me you're baking other than the sun.
Paperwork. Every 2 hours.
Easy bake oven.
Tee-hee.
No real bake oven. All right. So, yeah, the whole business with K2 came to be in the following way. So you realize that the DEA will not give you, because you have to get a license from the DEA to possess marijuana if you're going to do some kind of medical research or study on it, right?
Right.
And so the DEA wouldn't do this. They would not give you a license to grow your own marijuana to study. And they wouldn't give you any of their marijuana to study because that's the only legitimate place you could get it from. So they'd say, no. If you want to study marijuana, you got to study it. You got to synthesize the cannabinoids and in laboratory, and then you can study what you synthesized. But you can't grow it, and we're not going to give you any to study.
That's like...
Wait, it is crazy. Go ahead.
It's like spitting on a piece of art. Like, why do I have to synthesize what's already beautiful and working?
Right.
This is what I want to study.
It's like trying to beg the master for some sunshine. I need some sunshine because it's the thing that keeps things alive. I need sunshine. Nope, you can't have the sun. We're the masters of the sun. We lock up the sun, and we say you can't have any of the sun. It's too dangerous. It's too hot. If you want any sunshine, you're going to have to recreate it in a laboratory. That's what they're effectively saying. I mean, it's the same thing in a different way.
Yeah, pretty much.
So they did. These people who wanted to do some medical studies on cannabis, and I think it's a bad idea anyways, because cannabis is one of these plants that produces a product that does not fit the federal guideline for FDA study and trial, for clinical trialing. In other words, if you take opiates, for example, they're derived from opium in the natural world, right? Hence the name opiates.
Yes.
But you notice that they're not called opiates on a pain pill bottle. They're called opioids. You know why they're called opioids? Because they're synthesized.
It's not the same exact
They
thing.
got the derivative from the original plant, derived this substance that they're trying to create from the plant. And then rather than use the plant as the source of this, now they synthesize it in a laboratory. You get the same chemical structure, but they manufactured it rather than growing it and then reducing it to this. So that's what they would do. That's what they currently do. If you're getting Vicodin, for example, the opioid portion of Vicodin, because the other part is acetaminophen, the opioid portion is synthesized. It's manufactured in the lab to look like what the plant would give you if you derived it from the plant. That's what basically the FDA said you've got to do with marijuana if you're going to test it. We're not going to give you any of ours, and we're not going to let you grow it because we just don't want you doing that. My ass.
Don't want you growing a plant.
They don't want you doing the studies because the studies will show you what they already know. Which is that cannabis? No, they already know that. That's what they want to make a big deal out of. What they already know is that it is safe and effective for the treatment and symptomatic relief of many illnesses and dysfunctions in the body, because you have a human endocannabinoid system that makes them interiorly in your body for use and production in your body under normal circumstances. You know what I'm saying? Your body is making these cannabinoids and using them. Now, you don't know that this is going on because they're not at a level that's getting you high, but they are at a level that is making your body function properly. Why else would you be making them and using them? Why would you have cannabinoid receptors unless you were producing them and then using them somewhere?
And meant to receive them.
You have creators and receptors of other chemicals in your body, right? Why would you have these, the creators and receptors, and not need them? Your body needs them. And so they've been looking into the human endocannabinoid system and how the cannabinoids differently affect your endocannabinoid system, what those things are driving, what they're delivering. And the answers are fascinating. They're still learning this. You know, Dr. Sanjay Gupta was on from CNN. He's a reporter for 60 Minutes. He's also on CNN. He's also the neurosurgeon for the Atlanta hospital there in Georgia. So he's the resident neurosurgeon there. This is a young guy. I don't know somebody more accomplished than Dr. Sanjay Gupta, honestly. But at this guy's age, I don't know how he did all of these things together. How he became an accomplished reporter for 60 Minutes, a reporter anchor for CNN, and also a neurosurgeon at a major city hospital. The resident surgeon, you know what I mean? The resident neurosurgeon. This guy does brain surgery. So he was on our show, and he explained that he was never taught about the human endocannabinoid system in college, in med school. They didn't really discover it until after he got out of school.
Okay.
But now that he did get out of school and he's looked into this more, boy, there's a lot of stuff they're discovering about the human endocannabinoid system and how it interacts, how your body interacts with it. And why, when you're introduced supplemental cannabinoids, how your body responds to that. And is there anything bad that can happen from that? I mean, that's really the ultimate question is, can you use cannabis safely, right? And is it going to be effective for what you're wanting to use it for? And I think the answers to those questions are yes with a but.
Yes with a but.
But to finish the question that I posed earlier, which was this, why doesn't cannabis fit the profile of, say, opioids? Why can't you just manufacture the part, test it like they do the opioids, and put it through the same system? The answer is because opioids don't work symphonically. The different components of opioids don't function together. You can separate them and isolate them and test them and get the same result every time. You can put them through the FDA clinical trialing by simply separating out the different forms of opioids from the opium and then clinically trial them independently because none of them are dependent on the other. With the cannabis plant, that's not true at all because it is a symphonic effect. It is an entourage effect. It is a whole symphony playing at the same time. And so different songs can be played with this symphony depending on the variety of cannabis you have. But if you take out different cannabinoids and try to isolate them, instead of having this song, you just have the horn section.
Yep.
Right?
Got the trumpets blowing.
You just got the or you just got the percussion.
And that's not music at that point.
Exactly. Well, it is music. Technically, it is music, but it's not the music you wanted. It's not the music you expected. And what I'm saying is that K2 came from the place where they found how to synthesize this, and then the guys that were like in the illegal market said, aha, wait a minute. They're synthesizing it, and that substance that they manufactured in the lab, isn't illegal in that form. And so we're going to start taking that chemical, learn how to make it, spray it on potpourri, and sell it in the stores as fake weed. And they did, and people are dying from it. More in a minute.
You're getting the Full Melt.
If you missed the last Full Melt show,
you missed a lot.
That's what's been going on. There's been some civil litigation involving eviction. They're trying to say I have a big, mean, vicious dog. C-I-L, my landlord. Have you ever heard that sketch before?
No, I can't say I have.
Here we go.
Dark and lonely on the summer night. Kill my landlord. Kill my landlord.
Oh.
Watch dog barking. Do he bite? Kill my landlord. Kill my landlord.
I'm sorry. I'm upset, you know? I get lost. I'll get lost in a sea of verbiage.
Do you want me to keep like a fly swatter on hand or something?
Go ahead.
I mean,
just give me
give
the smack.
You went off there for a minute.
Just give me the smack, and I'll be like,
right on the back of the head. It's okay, guys. I'll keep him in line next time. I promise.
When you need legal help, you don't want to guess at who's standing next to you in court. And when it comes to a medical marijuana defense, it's even smarter to partner with a lawyer before you need one. Based in Royal Oak, David Rudoy has a proven history of not being afraid to take your case all the way to the Supreme Court and win. Find the law offices of Rudoy Law
at RudoyLaw.com.
RudoyLaw.com is a quick reference on your rights concerning Michigan medical marijuana
and up-to-date news.
That's RUDOI Law.com. Call 248-935-9074 now and talk about your legal needs, because at RudoyLaw.com, we don't just stand up for you, we stand up with you.
What's up with these things, Victor?
We decided to give ourselves stickers for each feature we release.
We read about 10,000 suggestions a week to create features that, as traders, we'd want to use.
10,000 suggestions? Who reads all of those?
He does.
For all the confidence you need, TD Ameritrade. You got this.
We need coffee.
Got it right here.
Cups?
12-ounce, 8-ounce recyclable.
Creamers, sweeteners, stirrers, filters?
Creamers, sweeteners, stirrers, filters, K-Cups.
Hazelnut, French vanilla, French roast, dark, light, medium, bold, extra bold?
And decaf.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
No reason.
Free shipping for awards members every day. Staples. Make more happen.
Play-Doh Compound can help kids practice communication skills. Start by presenting the visual of the letter or word. Then ask them to mold the Play-Doh compound into the shape of the letters. It's an effective way to foster speech and even writing.
It's the Full Melt Radio Show.
Late at night I could hear the crying. I hear it all trying.
All right, so back from break and excited about what's coming on this fall. What's going on in the fall is really important because it will shape the future of cannabis, the cannabis question, for some years to come in this country. It seems like it's all up in the air on the Trump side of things, right? Because all of Trump's advisors, the traditional party he backs, and many of the people that agree with Trump still are on the Just Say No bandwagon, are still against cannabis being legal in any form because it is the devil's lettuce, it is a slippery slope. All your kids will become heroin addicts. It is the zombie apocalypse.
Like, do they think that medical marijuana is going to lead to like medical cocaine or something? I'm confused.
No, they're worried that people with their excuses, the public banter is, their big red herring is, the straw man argument is that cannabis, if your kids try it, yeah, okay, no big deal, right? They're not going to OD from it. But it is a slippery slope that leads them down the road to other drugs. So they're LSD, and then they're doing, they're wigging out on some angel dust. They're doing some PCP. Oh, I heard how they do the wet when you get those wet doobies, right?
Oh, no, not the wet cigarette. No, anything but the wet cigarette.
They're dipping it in the PCP. They're dipping it in the formaldehyde, and they're smoking it. No. They're buying the K2. I'm just saying. The whole thing is they want to argue that somehow it is going to lead to a worse place, that opening this door is a gateway to hell. That's the argument. Isn't that the case, Maria Green?
Absolutely, that's the case.
Sorry to slip you in like that, but I didn't want people to forget, because I didn't get a chance to introduce you yet. As the Green Party candidate, yes, for the 8th Congressional District in the U.S. of A. here in Michigan.
Absolutely.
So, now, I got to ask you this, Maria. What made you get into the game, and why this late? It's awfully late into the game, isn't it, to get into a congressional race right before the election?
Well, I had thought about it back in March and April. I was kind of thinking about it. And my concern was on the Republican side. There was the incumbent Mike Bishop, and on the Democratic side, there was Melissa Gilbert, who is a name
Melissa.
that everybody everybody recognizes Melissa. Her name, right?
It's funny you mentioned that because Melissa Gilbert lives in Livingston County, which is a portion of which you would be representing if you were elected in this district, the 8th district.
Correct. Yep, she does. She lives in Howell. And so at the time, I was wary of going after this because those are two very...
Let me pause you just for a second, just for a politics check.
Uh-huh.
I got to ask the Mad Blaster. Mad, do you know who Melissa Gilbert is? Does it ring a bell at all?
No, Mad doesn't pay attention.
Oh, absolutely.
No. Wait. Bear with me, Maria, because I don't think you understand either. I have a studio guest now, and he goes by Mad. His name is Mad Blaster by night. That's what he goes by. So I was asking Mad because he's, you're younger than me, and he's younger than you. And so I just wanted to see if, because there is this millennial gap that I keep bringing back up. I wanted to see if he understood who or recognized the reference to the name Melissa Gilbert, because it rings a bell in my head right away, and it sounds like it did yours as well, yes?
Uh-huh.
Now, I don't know how old you are for sure, Maria, and I'm not going to ask you. That's not a manly thing to do, a gentlemanly thing to do to a lady.
Yeah, you don't ask a lady's age.
But I know how old Matt is. I'm not going to reveal it. But he doesn't get that. Do you ever heard of a show called Little House on the Prairie?
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Okay. So do you know Laura Ingalls?
Yes.
That is Melissa Gilbert.
Oh, well, isn't that something
Yeah.
fancy?
So there you go.
Yep,
Anyways,
there you
I'm
go.
sorry, Maria. I just wanted to put it in context for people who didn't understand maybe relationally who Melissa Gilbert would be.
Connecting dots for the younger
Right,
crowd.
right. Yeah, so, back then I was really wary of it because these are two really strong names that people already know, and that was going to be a really tough fight. And then about a month and a half or 2 months ago, Melissa Gilbert decided that she could no longer run. Actually, her doctors told her she could no longer run.
Oh, I didn't know this. See, I should be keeping up on this, and I did not know. That's bad. Now, was she running?
Yeah.
Which party was she running on?
She was running as a Democrat.
As a Democrat, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so you were telling the story about why you got involved at this late in the game, and this is the answer to that question.
And so it was when she announced that she couldn't run any longer, and I was looking at the only option being incumbent Republican Mike Bishop, and thought maybe I should go after this after all. I did some digging and found that I could still run under a third party. I found that the Green Party goes really well with a lot of my beliefs, and decided to pursue that. This past weekend, we had the state Green Party convention where I received my official nomination for the spot. So that's why it was kind of late. I wasn't really sure about going really head on before our convention, but now that that's happened, we're head on.
Well, now that you have gotten involved, did you consider not getting involved because it was so late in the game? Is this something that you envisioned could still be done, given that everybody else has had a big head start in this race?
I think that if any year we're going to take a third party is going to take a U.S. Representative seat, I think that this is the year that it's going to happen. And because of what has happened, the person who took over after Melissa Gilbert, she's had a pretty late start in this game, too. She only started campaigning about 3-4 weeks ago.
I get you.
So
there's been some leveling of the playing field, is what you're saying, and it's a good opportunity to dig in and run next to that guy.
That's what I feel. I think that there's a good chance right now, and the fact that I'm, we're only 13 weeks out right now from election, I don't think is as big a deal this year as it would be at other times.
Now, does the Green Party as a whole have a platform like the Democratic Party and the Republican Party? Is there an official party platform that you subscribe to being under that umbrella?
Yes, there certainly is. Right now, our national convention is coming up the coming weekend, so it hasn't been approved for 2016. But our 2014 platform can be found on the Michigan Green Party website. A lot of people think when they hear Green Party, they automatically just think that it's about saving the environment and ecological responsibility, when our platform actually entails a lot of social justice, drug law reform, things that are just, for the people and by the people.
So people are very confused about what the Green Party stands for as a core, is what you're saying. So there's some re-education involved about the party itself, yes?
Right, because the party itself is so much more than just ecological responsibility and saving the environment.
So there are a lot of, Save the Whales people, a lot of PETA type people, yes, I would assume that would be a part of the Green Party?
Oh, PETA.
Right.
Okay, and then, but not just by definition, though. You're saying that it's much broader than that. It includes, does it include the drug war issue?
It does. The official stance of the Green Party is that the war on drugs should be ended, that marijuana should be legalized.
Wow. See, and people don't know this. Look, I do a show about cannabis, Maria, and I didn't know that.
This is news. This just in.
Yep, that's right.
Are you laughing because young Bree is trying to be a part of the conversation in the background? Is that what you're
Yes, of course. I can't do a radio show without her in the background.
That's so awesome, though, actually. I mean, it shows that you're a mother, and I think people can relate immediately.
Right.
I really do.
For those that don't know, my girl is 3 years old, and she is definitely the most precocious thing I have ever met.
Well, would you say she's a chip off the old block, then?
Well, yeah, probably.
So there's some revelation about our candidate right there, America. Can you tell people what made you decide to get involved in politics? I mean, why Maria? Why you?
Well, a few years ago, I was kind of thrust into the role of activist when I was arrested for marijuana charges, and later the same year, then my daughter, who I was just talking about, was removed from me by CPS, Child Protective Services.
Quite famously.
Yep. And that kind of got me, involved in activism and trying to figure out how to fix the things that are wrong in our society. And as I've kind of gone through this path, I've become a bit more opinionated, shall we say,
proactive
about the things that need to happen, and proactive. And really, this feels like the next step in the thing that I need to do. For a while, I was just educating and trying to get the public on board with, my beliefs. And now I think that it's time for me to actually make some steps to cause change.
So you're saying you're taking it to the next level?
Yes.
So, the next level, boy, that's starting high up on the totem pole, isn't it? There, Maria. Don't people usually start like at city council? Like I know my friend Eric Thetford is part of the Thetford town. He's a Thetford Township trustee, and he's running again this year. And I know this. We're just speaking about pro cannabis friendly candidates. My other friend Theo is also running for Thetford Township trustee this time around. So one's running for re-election, one's running newly for election in the same township board. And do you think you're going to run up against people who might question your experience in this place? How can you jump up to Congresswoman before you maybe are the mayor?
I had a lot of people who said that at the beginning, like maybe you should just do a couple of, local offices and kind of get your feet wet and work your way up to that. And my thought is, man, if I do that, it's going to be 15, 20 years by the time I'm to this point.
Right. The drug war might be over with or lost.
Right. And my major issues have to do with the decisions that are made in Congress. And I really, truly believe that the people are tired of career politicians, and they want to see a people's person in Congress making laws that can be supported by the people and not corporations. And so, while most people do take the career politician route and work their way up and all of that, I think that it's important to sometimes not go that route and be just an average person making these decisions.
Well, the system, would you agree if I said the system is broken? Would you agree or disagree with that statement?
I would definitely agree with that.
So if the system is broken, then why utilize the system outside of getting elected, right?
Exactly. Why keep doing the same things if we are already on the understanding that it is broken?
Well, and it would take, you would think, somebody who's got a different perspective, who isn't a career politician, who isn't trying to become another politician ending this career, right?
Right.
That can come in with some outside eyes and apply ordinary, everyday human Jane and Joe logic to fix what is broken right now.
Absolutely.
Do you think that there are any people that we can elect to help you with that perspective in that effort this year, Maria?
I think that, for one, if you see a Green Party candidate on your ballot, whether you're in my district or not, please vote for them. I met some really, really fantastic Green Party candidates over the weekend, and I know that I believe that 7 or 8 out of the 14 U.S. House districts in Michigan have a Green Party candidate running. And then, furthermore, I mean, I'm just going to put a plug out there for Jill Stein. She's our Green Party nominee presumptive nominee for president this year. And she's got a lot of really great topics on her agenda and issues. And she's really a great gal.
So before we go to break, because we got just a couple minutes before we do go to break, I want to ask our studio associate, Mad, if he's got any Green Party questions for our guest on the phone, Maria Green, who's running for, again, the 8th Congressional District in the state of Michigan.
I mean, not really questions, just how much I really worry about people like me, man. I don't know any of this shit. I don't know what to do when I go to vote, you know what I mean? And, there's a whole population of people like me, and that's what kind of worries me.
So first off, you're a younger member of our community, and so we respect your position. Do you go vote? Do you participate? Do you make your person count?
Yes.
Okay. And so, but you're saying is that you're a low information voter. You don't know who to pay attention to, or you're not very educated about the candidates. They confuse you.
When it comes to the medical marijuana issue, not really. And to be honest, I think this country's so far gone that that's all I can really focus my energy on, is trying to help one cause at a time.
So are you aligned with Maria and I in the idea that cannabis should be legal across the country?
Yeah, 100%.
So people should be allowed to freely grow it and use it, and because it poses no threat or risk to our population at large.
Grow, smoke, concentrate, bake.
Let me first ask Maria if she agrees with that statement, because I don't want to speak in her stead.
Well, I do personally believe that the best solution is to lift prohibition and make it as though marijuana was never prohibited to begin with.
Okay, so I agree. I agree with that. So, do you agree with that?
I agree with that.
Okay, so I just wanted to get some facts on the ground here. Given that we're going to break, before we do go to break, because if you can stick around with us, Maria, when you come back, I wanted to maybe broaden this conversation out a little bit in this way. What is the platform that you stand for? What is it that you want to get done? What is it that you want to get accomplished in your first term if you're elected the 8th Congressional District Representative for this state in our U.S. House of Representatives? That's the target, right?
Right.
Okay.
So my top 3 issues...
Wait. No, I didn't want to get the answer yet. Because we're going to break now and the music's up.
Okay.
But when we come back from the break, I wanted you to think about it through the break. We come back from the break, I wanted to get your answer to that question. Stand by. You missed the last Full Melt show.
You missed a lot.
All right, so there's this idiot reporter out in Grand Rapids today. I saw her on a promo for some show she's doing about kids and drugs, and she's interviewing a policewoman and a prosecutor. Check this out.
Things sound like something that drug addicts would use. Are regular teenagers using butane?
Absolutely.
You know, when you are out there, you're seeing kids are you seeing it younger and younger? Are you seeing it used in homes more frequently? What's actually happening?
Okay, that's a stupid question, you old bat. Can you come up with an original reporter's question? One that somebody can actually answer?
Is it addictive? Is it something that's going to get a kid in trouble? Can people manage their use?
Well, I mean, I think that's one of the biggest myths.
Again, I just have to take issue with this. Wood TV in Grand Rapids, this lady needs to study up before she sticks a microphone in an official's face and asks an idiot question. Attention. Get ready to write down a very important number.
Michael does not know how to fail. Second place is loser.
If you have a medical marijuana case and need legal representation, call the best, Attorney Michael Comorn.
He's very passionate in the courtroom.
Getting the best outcome requires quick legal action, and it needs to start with one call, toll-free to Attorney Michael Comorn. 800-656-3557. Write it down, 800-656-3557.
Michael Comorn gave us our life back.
Attorney Michael Comorn. Vigorous criminal defense.
Ram trucks are reaching new heights when it comes to capability and efficiency. The Ram Heavy Duty is the most capable full-size pickup on the road today. And the Ram 1500 is the most fuel-efficient full-size pickup ever. So what does that mean? It means Ram trucks are built for the long haul. Ram, America's longest-lasting pickups.
RootMetrics, in the nation's largest independent study, tested wireless performance across the country. Verizon won big with 153 state wins. AT&T got 38, Sprint got 2, and T-Mobile got 0. Verizon also won first in the U.S. for data, call speed, and reliability. AT&T got text. Stuck on an average network? Join Verizon, and we'll cover your cost to switch.
Introducing Sacred Elements, a place for natural and alternative healing for the mind, body, and soul. Sacred Elements. It's one place, all solutions.
Registered, licensed, certified, ordained.
Sacred Elements.
Massage, hypnosis, Reiki.
Sacred Elements.
Raindrop, aroma and color therapy, body detox, ministry, life coaching, weight and nutrition counseling.
Sacred Elements.
Next to the Sweet Leaf, 400 South Dorr Highway, Flint.
11 to 7 daily, closed Sunday.
Call 810-259-2570.
Play-Doh Compound can help kids practice communication skills. Start by presenting the visual of the letter or word. Then ask them to mold the Play-Doh compound into the shape of the letters. It's an effective way to foster speech and even writing.
Hey, it's Steve Green for the Sweet Leaf in Flint, because now getting safe access to medical cannabis patients in Flint, Michigan is never more welcoming. Presenting the Sweet Leaf, a brand new patient experience, bringing 12 carefully selected caregivers housed in 9 separate offices to distinctly assist you with their knowledge and reputation for excellent patient care. Classes and training coming soon in the large community room. Check it out in person, 400 South Dorr Highway, or call 810-259-2571. The Sweet Leaf Center in Flint, 810-259-2571.
We ask people to tell us something that happened in their past and something that might happen in their future. The good things were put on yellow magnets and the bad ones on blue. The results show the past was a pretty even mix of good and bad, yet the future was almost all good things. Now that you've seen the results of this experiment, what does it mean to you?
We all want to think about positive stuff.
Realistically, there will be downtimes.
It's great to think optimistically, but let's plan for whatever the future might bring.
Prudential, bring your challenges.
It's the Full Melt Radio Show.
Radio show.
Right back on the Full Melt Show, talking with 8th Congressional District in the state of Michigan. That's 8th U.S. Congressional District in the state of Michigan. Candidate for the Green Party, officially on the ballot this year. Back with us on the phones is Maria Green. Welcome back, Maria. Oops, I don't have you plugged in, Maria. Sorry, I unplugged you during the break. There, now we can hear you. Hello, are you there?
Yes.
Oh, there we are. Sorry about that. So, we were saying before the break, we were looking to get your platform. What is it that you got involved? What do you want to do this year when you get in office? What is your first term plans? Can you tell me that?
Yes. So there are 3 things that are my top priorities for the first year. One is legalizing cannabis, and that includes hemp across the board to help make energy more renewable and help bring down littering and that kind of thing, pollution. The second thing is child protection reform. There's a lot of issues, as I saw firsthand, with the Child Protection Services and the whole system that surrounds that. It is incredibly broken. It is incredibly corrupt. There are a lot of changes that can be made at the federal level that would help bring the corruption down, including revamping funding and grant money that goes from the federal government to the state governments that incentivize tearing children away from their families. So that I want to completely overhaul and put in incentives for reuniting families. And
wait. Can I ask? Can I pause you for a second? Or
yeah.
Do you have a short list that you're going to continue with, and then I got to come back to that? I might do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and finish your thought, because I didn't want to interrupt your thought. You're trying to answer my question, and then we'll come back to this
That's
point.
okay.
Thank you, because I'm really confused about a point about there. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, we'll come back to it. And then the third thing that I want to do is cut back on congressional salaries and make term limits for U.S. House Representatives. So basically, that would be, putting limits on my own jobs that I'm trying to get. But I think that that's really important for the United States to have Congress people that have term limits and their salaries and their benefits are way gluttonous as compared to the average American. And I think, if we're supposed to be representing the people, we should be more in line with what the people are also getting.
So you're saying cut Congress down a couple notches by way of salary and benefit.
Right.
So that it's more like your average Joe and Jane. Can you imagine, I never thought about it like that. Can you imagine, Mad, the effect that would have on the population that exists inside the House of Representatives and in the Senate chambers? Because right now, these guys are getting, how much are they getting? You know how much it is, Maria, don't you? Because you got to know, because you're running for this job. You got to know what it's going to pay.
Way more than you or I.
I do. It's they're making $176,000 a year.
Whoa! Damn. So, so you could divide that salary by 4 before you'd get an average Joe or Jane's salary.
Yes.
So you're making four times the money, and you don't even need the benefits package because you're making plenty enough to go to the pharmacy by yourself. But what do you get there, Maria?
However, the benefits package that comes along is well surpassed the kind of benefits that the average citizen gets even through like Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. I can even tell you the difference between VA benefits versus the benefits of Congress people. It's absolutely grotesque. And
don't they get like health care for life? Don't they get like a pension?
Mm-hmm. Yes, they do.
So
I wish I
pensions.
had a pension.
Wait a minute, pensions are a thing of the past, aren't they? For everyday Americans, you cannot go to a job and expect that your job, in any way, shape, or form, should or would come with a pension. Am I correct in that statement, Maria Green?
Correct. Yep. The average everyday citizen doesn't get a pension,
Even the union guys that negotiate pensions, some of them have been washed away in bankruptcy court, haven't they? These pensions.
Absolutely.
But to not Congress, you'll never see that hanging over Congress's head because they create their own rules.
Correct.
So go ahead. I'm sorry. I interrupted again.
And those kinds of making their own rules in order to themselves or to benefit themselves does not benefit the American people.
Okay. So that's a lot. That's a tall order in your first term.
Yeah,
that's a lot of stuff. But you know what? So I think it's a well-balanced, a well-rounded agenda.
Mm-hmm.
So getting back to the question that I had about my confusion about CPS is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, you said words to the effect of there's a funding incentive currently in place by the way the laws are written about federal funding for child protective service agencies in states.
Correct.
Okay.
It was actually a bill that Hillary Clinton worked on several years ago. It's called the Safe Families Act. And I actually posted about it on my Facebook a few days ago. I'm going to repost it on my Facebook again so that people can see it. But it breaks down the money value that the federal government gives to state child protection agencies for specific actions. One of the actions is removing a child from a family and putting them in foster care. That yields between $2,000 and $5,000. Another action is adopting out those children, and that goes to the tune of $10,000.
Man.
Now the thing with this funding is every single one of these amounts is for each child that the state fosters or adopts out more than what they did last year. So now we have a monetary incentive for the state agencies
to get bigger.
That's like
Absolutely, taking more children than they did last year.
You need to feed the machine more kids.
That's like half-ass human trafficking.
So let's say
She can't. Just 1 second. Just one second, Maria, because there's a little bit of confusion about in the studio here about who can hear who.
I'm sorry. I've been smoking blunts. I apologize.
You got to pay attention. We're on the air.
Forget things. Fuck. You do it too. Calm down.
No. I don't forget. I've demonstrated quite clearly. I have a great memory. Elephant-sized memory.
All I'm saying is...
Wait a minute. No, all I'm saying is that don't forget that because Maria's on the speakerphone on the on a mobile device, that she's hearing you through that speakerphone and not through the microphone. Right.
So stop smoking blunts in the... I gotcha.
No, you can smoke blunts. Just don't forget where people can hear you from.
Stop getting lost in the blunts. Understood. My bad.
It's okay.
All I'm saying is that's half-ass human trafficking. They're pretty much selling off kids for like a payday almost. Snatching children from their homes. That's crazy. This is new information to me.
That's absolutely right. They've turned our children into a commodity.
Right. This is the same thing they did. I'm outraged. This is the same thing they did with people in the cannabis community. They turned them into a commodity in the criminal justice system.
Yes.
And so you're saying, wait a minute, there's a mirror effect in the child protective services industry that mirrors the same kind of corruption. Yeah, it's worse because there's a tie between the two, and that's the one that you experienced, isn't it, Maria?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, because my child was taken because of a marijuana issue, and the fact that they took her, put her into foster care, and they could classify her as coming from a drug home, her grant money was actually increased by the federal government. It has a specification in there for children who are saved from drug homes.
Wow. Maria, we're about to go to break again. I'm terribly sorry, but if you don't mind, I wouldn't mind keeping you on for the last break because I think there's more to explore in the candidacy potential of your lore. Would you be willing to stand by?
Yes.
Awesome. So stand by. We're talking to 8th Congressional, U.S. Congressional District for the House of Representatives, candidate for the Green Party, Maria Green, who hails currently from the Lansing area. Am I correct?
Yep.
And so I got to ask her about what her district size would be. And I got so many more questions for you, Maria. Hang on. The music break is playing. We're going to go out with a hail to you. And we'll be back in a second to find out more information about how to get you elected, because I love you already.
Thank you.
You're getting the full melt.
Promotional consideration provided by NoSmell.com, pioneering the storage market for cannabis users. The NoSmell patented bag technology offers users 100% smell-proof detection from even the most sophisticated of noses. NoSmell.com, so nobody knows. When placing your order for a No-Smell bag, make sure to use discount code FULLMELT and take 10% off the entire order. Learn more about No-Smell technology at NoSmell.com. If you missed the last Full Melt show,
you missed a lot.
The 2016 law also allows the dispensing organizations to grow full-strength pot, which will be available to terminally ill patients, right? We were just talking about
the ones on hospice, yes. So in Florida, I have to be on my deathbed to get some regular, what I would consider regular THC marijuana.
The stuff that you can go to Flint or Lansing or Ann Arbor or
down
Detroit
the street to
and
Walled
get.
Lake.
Tune into the Full Melt Show, Monday through Friday from 7 until 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on thefullmelt.com.
Full Melt.
When you need legal help, you don't want to guess at who's standing next to you in court. And when it comes to a medical marijuana defense, it's even smarter to partner with a lawyer before you need one. Based in Royal Oak, David Rudoy has a proven history of not being afraid to take your case all the way to the Supreme Court and win. Find the law offices of Rudoy Law
at RudoyLaw.com.
RudoyLaw.com is a quick reference on your rights concerning Michigan medical marijuana
and up-to-date news.
That's RUDOI Law.com. Call 248-935-9074 now and talk about your legal needs, because at RudoyLaw.com, we don't just stand up for you, we stand up with you. Hey, it's Steve Green for the Sweet Leaf in Flint, because now getting safe access to medical cannabis patients in Flint, Michigan is never more welcoming. Presenting the Sweet Leaf, a brand new patient experience, bringing 12 carefully selected caregivers housed in 9 separate offices to distinctly assist you with their knowledge and reputation for excellent patient care. Classes and training coming soon in the large community room. Check it out in person, 400 South Door Highway, or call 810-259-2571. The Sweet Leaf Center in Flint, 810-259-2571.
Young students are our future. They're eager to learn, eager to succeed, eager to make the world a better place. And they want to make it to school safely. Share the road, take care when passing, and always leave 3 feet between you and people on bikes. Bikes are legal road vehicles. We're all drivers.
It's the Full Melt Radio Show. So you're saying that I have a bad memory? That's what you're saying. You're saying that
I'm saying you forget stuff. I'm not saying you have a bad memory. I'm saying you forget stuff.
Okay, I did forget to plug Maria in, coming back from the last break.
How many times you forgot my mic?
I
don't.
did forget your mic a couple times.
You just make me look like a fool, man, all because I got lost in the blunt. I'm sorry.
Touche. You got me back.
Touche. You try smoking like 4 fucking blunts during the show.
I don't. That's why I don't. It's one of the reasons I don't.
That's why I'm Mad Blaster by night. I just got off work. This is what I do.
I got the wax bowl. I'm good with that.
There you go.
Coming back from the break, back to Maria Green. Maria, what is the size of your district? It encompasses congressional districts are very weirdly shaped.
Is it a big district?
Oh, wait. You are plugged in. Wait. Hold on. Something's wrong. There we go. Maybe that way. Now, can we hear you?
Yes.
There we go.
There she is.
We had to take you off the speakerphone during the break. We had her on the speakerphone.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's fun to talk to, too, guys.
Yeah, they are. Most districts are pretty weirdly shaped right now because of the redistricting that happened just not too long ago. My district, you'll be able to vote for me if you are anywhere in Ingham County, Livingston County, or the northern half of Oakland County.
See, that's the part that gets me, because I would love to have you as my district representative.
I'd vote for you.
I would love to call Maria Green and go, Maria, the sheriff is just making me angry about this position on weed. Can you help me out, Maria?
Yes.
But I can't do that because you're representing the northern part of the county. I'm south of the Mason-Dixon line in my county when it comes to you. So, well, so now that you've got this weird, now would you have to move? Or could you live in Lansing still? Because it covers Ingham County too, yes or no?
Ingham County is part of it, and Lansing is part of Ingham County. I do live in the district. However, it is not mandatory that a congressperson live within their district for U.S. House of Representatives.
Oh, that's terrible. So wait a minute. So I can represent you from afar?
Yes.
Oh, that's terrible, terrible stuff. Look, this is part of the reason that I have a problem with our, police forgot about what community policing is. Part of the concept of community policing is this, that we have a neighborhood policeman, right? So we got one guy we know that patrols our neighborhood, and he comes around and lets himself be known. Hey, I'm your neighborhood cop. Here's my card. If you have any problems or see any issues you need dealt with by the police, here I am. Please let me know.
Yep.
If you have any issues or concerns, I'm your friend. I'll help you.
Great.
And these cops need to live in the communities that they serve, right? So it doesn't create an us versus them mentality, because otherwise you could just, like the people that are policing in Detroit, if they don't have a rule that you must live in Detroit, where if you're going to be a policeman there's nobody that's there that knows what needs to be done more than a resident, and nobody more that respects what a policeman would have to do than a resident. So why wouldn't you require the police to be residential in the places that they are policing, because they would, A, know them best, and B, already be neighbors with the people that they have to police?
Exactly. I believe that you should live within the district of the people that you represent. If you're going to be their voice, then no one's going to understand that as much as somebody who lives right alongside you.
Right. And so it's much easier to represent the people when your paycheck and your benefits package is more like a regular person's. It's much less easy to represent the issues and will of the rich if you don't become that at first while you're representing those poorer than you. Wouldn't you agree with that?
I would.
I love it. And so we're going to have to do a lot of work to get you elected, Maria. We're going to have to get your name known in a household way, I think. I mean, I think a lot of the people in the cannabis community already know who you are by name just because of the news that you mentioned about CPS and the marijuana issue as a patient in the state of Michigan and how they made a big deal out of that at great expense and cost to your family, yes?
Yes.
And your child, yes? And you personally?
Yes. Well, yeah.
And there was no compensation for this in any way other than, you know what, we're done with you.
Correct. When they gave up, they just gave up. And we've been told by several attorneys that we don't even have a case to sue. So it just, it just was over, and then we moved on.
So this is legal bullying is what it's amounted to.
Right.
But when I say legal bullying, I'm saying the bully is the state, the biggest animal in the building. Yes?
I would go so far as to say it was legal kidnapping.
Yes, well, that's what I mean. They could put all the effects and force of the entire people behind the effort, as illegal as it was, a bullying effort, instead of just the wills and resources of an individual or a family. They got everybody's resources available to use against you. Well, you're going to make a fine candidate, Maria Green, and I want to do everything I can as a host of this show and as a personal friend of yours to see to it that you occupy that chair in Congress after the beginning of the year.
Thank you. I appreciate your support.
Are you prepared to do all of that flying back and forth with the young Bree at your side? Is she going to fly on the plane with Mama?
I imagine that sometimes she will fly on the plane with me.
That's got to be a heck of a question to wrangle if you're in Congress and have a 3-year-old. But you don't just have a 3-year-old. You got a bigger family than that, don't you?
Yeah, I have an older son who's 9 as well.
Wow. Well, you've got this to look forward to. At least pretty soon he'll be of an age that he'll be able to easily and safely take care of his little sister.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's not...
Yeah, well, I figure with a salary like $176,000, I can probably have somebody who can watch her pretty much full time until I'm able to change the law to bring that salary down.
Not for long if you have your way about it.
That's right.
I'm suggesting that even if you manage to get Congress to agree to cut their own salaries in half, which I would say is a tall order in for icicles in hell.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that you can't speak the will of the people and get the will of your district done by at least proposing the legislation and getting it on the record that you made this proposal and that you had other people, hopefully in your party and others, that signed on board to get behind that wagon train.
Absolutely. And, the more that we talk about this, the more that the people are going to be on board. There's a whole movement right now called Brand New Congress. They're gearing up for the 2018 election cycle.
Wow.
Getting as many members, candidates on board as possible so that we can kind of put in all new people into 90% of the seats in Congress.
You're telling me that they're preparing the 2018 professional congressional toilet flush?
Yep.
Wow.
It's called Brand New Congress. They have a website. I believe it's brandnewcongress.com.
It should be flushthebastards.com. That's what it should be. Brand New Congress. Maria, I don't want to miss the chance for people to contribute to your campaign. How might they find you on the internet or in other ways to contribute towards your cause in getting you elected?
The best way to do that is to find me online. The website is mariagreenforcongress.com. And I have ways to donate and to volunteer because I need both right now.
mariagreenforcongress.com. And so can people contribute directly right there on the website? Can they whip out their MasterCard or Visa and make a contribution? That is awesome. Are they limited in how much they can contribute?
So individuals are only allowed to contribute a max of $2,700 for any election cycle.
Okay. For all candidates, yes, or just one candidate? For each candidate?
Correct. No candidate can get more than that from any individual. Also, as far as the Green Party is concerned and my own personal conviction, I'm not accepting any kind of corporate money and any kind of money from a PAC. So that's a political action committee.
So you're feeling the burn is what you're saying?
Yes.
I gotcha. I'm
So
picking
to
up what
speak.
you're putting down.
So to speak.
Maria, we are up against the clock and completely out of time, but I'm glad we got all of those things in. It was a fascinating conversation to talk to you. I'm wishing you well. Any last words before we go?
Vote green, and thanks for having me on.
Look, what a great way to say it. Vote green.
Vote green. I'm about it, man.
All
Vote
right.
green.
We'll see you tomorrow on the Full Melt Show. Until then, ta-ta.
The Full Melt Show is a production of TFM Media.